Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over the best basketball shoes for heavy players. So I picked out a top 5. Don't really have much to clarify. I mean, it's all about self-awareness here. Yeah, we're focusing on the best options based on your body weight. You can be a heavy guard as long as you're fat. All right, let's just get right into it. Criteria for this list: the upper needs to be able to hold up well. Stability is important. There needs to be at least somewhat decent cushion to provide enough support underneath your feet. First shoe that comes to mind is the Jordan Luka 3. This is a shoe that feels like it's really made for the signature player. Luka isn't the fastest guy out there, but his pace, how he uses and controls his body contact. The upper material on the Luka 3 does not give you a premium or plush feeling in hand, but they are quite sturdy, bulky in terms of containment, but it's also not too stiff. That also holds up well for outdoor use too. Cushion 3.0, like the foam isn't extraordinary, but you get just enough bounce back and compression from the midsole. It's right around average weight. Yeah, I would consider the Luka 3 to be on the opposite end of a soft and flimsy shoe. If you're on the heavier side, you probably want to avoid having a super minimal upper that twists in shape easily over time. So as a shoe that can contain your weight securely coming down the lane with decent traction, the Luka 3 is a pretty good choice. Next one up, I have the Adidas Dame 9. In a sense, I also think this is their best hoop shoe out of their recent releases. As promised, I did get the red colorway, and I can confirm that it does come with the bright green laces. Perfect. Reverse Grinch vibes, maybe. Honestly, the green laces were about 80% of the reasons behind this purchase for me. I can also say that the regular colorways should be slightly better than the Babe collab. So the biggest strength of the Dame 9 is also how supportive and tanky the upper is. The leather is pretty hard, but it's not like a rock. It doesn't cause any discomfort. Containment is just much better than the standard mesh upper that you see on like more than 50% of the basketball shoes on the market, while agility isn't sacrificed. The shoe itself falls on the heavier side. No surprise coming from Adidas, but it's not too heavy like the AE1 and Harden Volume 8. Personally, I don't think that being a heavier guy means that you need heavy shoes. No. Sometimes you even need a lightweight shoe to offset your build. So a little bit heavier than average is certainly doable. Remember, you need to go down a half size for the best fit. What makes it even better is that this time the traction is excellent. Dame shoes in the past, traction has been hit or miss. More misses than hits actually. Dame 8 solid rubber was meh. Dame 7 extended play, not there. Dame 6, I was skating on ice. Here on the Dame 9, it grips really well for me, even on a dusty court. And that was very consistent between the two pairs, translucent and gum also. The traction performance, I meant. Yeah, despite Dame himself being a true point guard, his shoes have usually been great for bigs, in my opinion. Perhaps an underrated pick. I know I still haven't posted the video on it yet, but it's coming right up. And that is the EQLZ 247. I've had mine for over a month now. Plenty of surprises from my experience. Yes, it's again on the heavier side, but the sock collar is super stretchy. It does not restrict your movements or lower your mobility. At the same time, you get quite an extensive outrigger part on the exterior to prevent your feet from sliding out too much. I was really worried about that part before I got these, as someone who has extremely flat feet. Turned out it was okay. Cushion feels quite nice. Traction, that gives you a PG6 or Nova Surge Low type of squeak. It's a low but consistent squeak, not super sharp or high pitch. Low-key decent across the board. It is bottom heavy, however, but I guess that shouldn't be an issue if you're a heavier dude. Yeah, this brand, before they made a splash with this shoe, they've mostly been known for their slides. That was how I knew them. Those were kind of pricey, but very popular among Chinese hoopers. This performance model has great functionality with a minimalistic design. If you like to try something different, this might be worth a look, even over the AE1, let's say. Another shoe that will do a wonderful job for heavy players is the Anta KAI 1. Yeah, I know you might be thinking, isn't it best off being a guard shoe? KAI 1 is still great for guards, yes, but for those who need an excellent cushioning setup to go with a supportive upper, this is really one of the most ideal options. Full length nitrogen foam or nitro edge, whatever you call it, this midsole is not just very soft and comfortable on the Kai 1, it also absorbs impact well, so landings are safe for the bigger players. Traction breaks in nicely with more playing time, and this shoe just keeps getting better the more you use it. The shoe itself has great stability, largely thanks to the upper construction and weight distribution. It is a little bit bottom heavy too. Putting the Kyrie factor aside, Anta basketball shoes, ever since day one for me, they've always been safe. Now that I think about it, the products won't necessarily wow me, but functionality's up there. I mean, if you don't trust me, since I hide my fat really well on the court, I know a guy or two who can confirm this as well. So seemingly contrary to Kyrie's build and playing style, for the big guards out there, or just bigs in general, the Kai 1 is a stable and fun ride. Last one up from my top 5, I gotta throw the KD 17 in there. Decent cushion, nothing crazy, but it's not too thin, and I haven't had any bottom out issues, so there's enough going on under your feet. Traction somehow was improved from the 16. If the 16 is almost too tight in the way it locks your feet inside, the 17 upper stretches out by a good amount. You get more wiggle room, but not to a point where it feels too loose, if that makes sense. Surprisingly spacious inside for a KD shoe, because KDs typically run very narrow. Now that I look at these 5 picks, they all happen to be pretty waifu friendly actually, but that wasn't my intention. Being a heavier guy doesn't necessarily mean that your feet are wider than average, but in a lot of cases I know your feet grow wider as you get fatter. I think my COVID man boobs club can attest to that. Anyways, there you go. These all fit for wide footers. If you're built like a friend of mine who's a fat guy with very narrow feet, I don't know, just lose some weight, I guess. So I do have honorable mentions. Actually, there are a lot more great options for heavier and bigger players. Freak 6 should do just fine too. Traction feels safe. Lateral containment was very impressive, despite having a relatively thin upper. Cushion has nothing special to it, but it's decent and more than sufficient. Just an easy to use shoe line waiting for you at the outlet. From Way of Wade, their flagship model, the WOW 11 and 808-4 Ultra, I think these two fit in this category too. It's just that I can see them being good for a wide range in terms of body weight. I mean, their products are usually very versatile, instead of catering specifically to a certain group. Same can be said with the New Balance 2 WXY V5. Amazing performer, really can be the one for anybody, any position or playing style. If you need a budget-friendly option, I would recommend the Giannis Immortality 4. From 1 to 4, this line continues to bulk up to a point where the upper is now sturdy and supportive enough for bigger dudes. It's no longer too narrow, too thin, or too flimsy to hold up well. So Immortality 4 would be the budget pick, retailing at $85. And that's it for this list. Yeah, Luka 3, Dame 9, Kai 1, EQLZ, KDs, and these ones that I just mentioned. If you consider yourself a heavier player, let us know which shoes have done really well for you. Feel free to share your experience playing with any of these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one.